The Forgotten Lament. I awoke once more in the grip of an indescribable unease, my dreams haunted by the dissonant chorus of voices from beyond. The rift, the orb, the void, they had all left their mark on my soul, but nothing could have prepared me for the revelation that now stirred in the shadows of my mind. It began as a faint echo at the edge of sleep, a mournful, almost musical lament that seemed to beckon me towards a truth I was not ready to confront. The day unfolded in a murky haze, each moment weighted with the anticipation of impending darkness. I could feel an inexplicable pull deep within me, a call to seek out what had been long forgotten by the world. My journal, which had become both a confidant and a ledger of my descent into the abyss, now brimmed with cryptic passages and scribbled symbols. They spoke of an ancient rite, a sorrowful dirge that echoed through time, known only as the Forgotten Lament. The whispers in my solitude had grown into a persistent murmur, and I sensed that they were urging me to piece together a fragment of cosmic history, one that held the key to understanding the void's relentless embrace. Determined to decipher the enigma, I retraced my steps from the previous encounters. I returned to my study, where the obsidian mirror lay dormant, its surface now scarred by the remnants of my earlier journey. I placed my trembling hand upon its cold, reflective face, half expecting it to transport me once again into a realm of swirling chaos. Instead, for a long, agonizing moment, nothing happened. The silence was absolute, as if the mirror were withholding its secrets. Then, as if awakened by my fervent need for answers, the glass shimmered and rippled, transforming into a canvas for visions of a long-forgotten era. I saw before me a panorama of desolation, a ruined temple nestled in a barren wasteland, its once proud columns now broken and overgrown with vines. The air around it pulsed with the faint strains of a lament, a sorrow so deep it seemed to emanate from the very bones of the earth. In that spectral vision, hooded figures moved silently among the ruins, their faces obscured by shadows as they chanted in a language older than memory. Their voices blended into a dirge that resonated with heartbreak and inexorable loss. The mirror's vision faded as quickly as it had come, leaving me with a profound sense of loss and longing. It was as if I had been granted a fleeting glimpse into a world that had been swallowed by time, a world where the echoes of forgotten sorrows still cried out in the darkness. My mind raced with questions. Who were these mourners of an ancient past? What terrible secret did the temple hold? And most haunting of all, why did their lament call out to me? Driven by an overwhelming compulsion to uncover the truth, I resolved to follow the trail of these spectral memories. Over the following days, I scoured old archives and obscure texts, piecing together fragments of myth and legend. I discovered references to a ritual known as the Lament of the Forgotten, a rite said to summon the spirits of those who perished in a cataclysm so terrible that even the heavens had wept. The ritual was believed to open a portal between the living and the dead, allowing the echoes of lost souls to seep into our world. It became clear that the mirror had not shown me a random vision. It had offered a glimpse into a forgotten chapter of cosmic horror, one that was intimately connected to the void's power. As night fell again, I prepared myself for the next phase of this journey. I gathered the relics and symbols I had collected: a weathered key, an ancient map marked with indecipherable glyphs, and a small silver pendant that pulsed with an inner light. My study was bathed in the flickering glow of candlelight as I arranged these artifacts in a deliberate pattern, forming what I hoped was a symbolic representation of the long-lost temple. I recited the incantations recorded in my journal, my voice quivering with both fear and determination. The air grew dense, and the silence around me deepened until it felt as if the walls themselves were holding their breath. Suddenly, the pendant flared with an intense brilliance, casting jagged shadows across the room. The mirror's surface shimmered anew, and I was drawn once again into its depths. This time, the vision was even more vivid. I found myself standing before the ruined temple of the lamenting souls. The temple loomed before me, its crumbling facade etched with sorrowful inscriptions and veiled in a ghostly mist. In the distance, the mournful chant of the hooded figures resonated, a sound that filled the air with palpable grief. I stepped forward, each footfall echoing through the spectral corridors of that desolate place. The atmosphere was oppressive, a mixture of decay and ethereal sadness that pressed down on me, almost suffocating in its intensity. I could see the hooded figures clearly now, their bodies swaying in a slow, mournful dance. Their eyes were empty, yet filled with an inexpressible sorrow that struck me to my very core. They chanted in unison, their voices a haunting symphony that seemed to tear at the fabric of reality itself. As I approached the center of the temple, I noticed a pedestal upon which rested a relic, a carved stone tablet covered in ancient runes. The runes pulsed with a dim, unworldly light, as if imbued with the lament of countless lost souls. I knelt before it, my heart hammering in my chest, and reached out to touch the cold, rough surface. The moment my fingers made contact, a wave of sound crashed over me, a cacophony of voices, each one a sorrowful echo of a forgotten life. In that overwhelming surge, I felt a profound connection to the temple and its mournful legacy. The voices coalesced into a single, clear message. Remember us. Do not let our sorrow be forgotten. The words reverberated deep within me, stirring something long dormant, a memory of loss and yearning that transcended time. It was as if the temple and its lament had reached into the depths of my soul, demanding recognition and absolution for an ancient wrong. Tears streamed down my face as I struggled to comprehend the magnitude of what I had witnessed. I realized then that I had been chosen to bear witness to this forgotten sorrow, to be the conduit through which the voices of the damned could be heard once more. The realization filled me with both a terrible responsibility and a strange, cathartic relief. I had uncovered a fragment of the universe's hidden grief, and in doing so, I had become part of a legacy far greater than my own mortal existence. The vision began to fade, the temple dissolving into swirling mists and the mournful chant receding into silence. I found myself back in my study, the relic tablet still warm in my hand, its runes dimming as if exhausted by their own lament. I sat in stunned silence, feeling the weight of the experience settle upon me. I knew that my life had been irrevocably altered by the encounter. A spark of cosmic sorrow had been ignited within me, one that would guide my steps on a path filled with mystery, loss, and unspeakable beauty. Now, as I pen these words by the faint light of a solitary candle, I feel the echo of that lament pulsing in the stillness. The ancient sorrow of the forgotten souls calls to me, urging me to continue my quest and to honor their memory by unearthing the secrets of the void. I understand that my journey is far from over, that the lament of the forgotten is but one chapter in the endless saga of cosmic horror that is now entwined with my fate. If you have the courage to face the depths of ancient grief and the terror of cosmic oblivion, join Voidlore Nexus as we traverse this haunting path together. Follow me into the shadows of memory, where every echo is a prayer for redemption and every silence is a testament to the sorrow that refuses to be forgotten.